I have a novella, an ebook that you can find at Amazon under my pen name Rachel Heath called Vince and Sheila, a domestic discipline romance. Okay, and it's about a couple who meet some years after having known each other in high school. And Vince is a strong conservative Christian, and he knew Sheila as kind of bad news. Okay, now they have a very strong mutual attraction, but he's wary of her. Okay, now though, the attraction kind of wins over, and they decide on a Christian domestic discipline marriage. Okay, what is a Christian domestic discipline marriage? Okay, as I've noted before, there are three basic views in Christianity as far as gender roles: patriarchalism, complementarianism, and egalitarianism. All three of them have biblical support. All three of them have some trouble with biblical problems. Okay, the patriarchalist is the kind of the most old-fashioned, the most traditional, the strongest on old-fashioned sex roles, which it very strongly emphasizes male dominance, and believes that it applies not just to the church, but to, regular life as well. Complementarianism emphasizes equal value, but different roles and different responsibilities. And egalitarianism is kind of like what it says. It basically allows for, women ministers and women to rise in the church as far as their talents and ambition will carry them, and doesn't limit a person's role in the church by their gender. Okay, now Christian domestic discipline is a is kind of like a sub genre of either patriarchalism or complementarianism, because it holds that as the head of the household, the husband has the right and even the obligation to discipline the wife and punish the wife, usually, although not always, through spanking. Now, if this is starting to sound a bit kinky, it is. And most Christian domestic discipline people deny that they practice BDSM, but they acknowledge that very often, although not always, there is a sexual element in Christian domestic discipline. Most people who practice CDD say that their sex lives improve, and very often one or the other or both parties say that they are sexually aroused during the discipline. And in fact, it's most commonly the wife who is sexually aroused during the discipline, and most commonly the wife who wants this type of relationship, which again does point to an element, that there could be an element of BDSM in there. Now, and they also say, though, that also indicates that that's part of God's plan, that God put it in there for women to be sexually aroused, and by submitting to men gets them turned on, and therefore it's obviously was, built into God's natural plan for women. Okay, but anyway, I did write this novella, and it follows a Christian domestic discipline relationship. Do I support Christian domestic discipline? I'm a libertarian as far as people's relationships. And so I hope that maybe some people will like the novella and enjoy it. Okay? And you will find out something about Christian domestic discipline in reading the novella, and something about, me as a writer in reading the novella, and seeing how the relationship between these two people develops as a relationship and as a Christian domestic discipline relationship. Okay. Hope you like hearing that.